Sube el volumen.
Hautbox.
Tiene algo enorme para ti.
Si te ofrecen droga, te van a decir que se siente bien padre, que te vas a reír.
Okay, we're back now. Thank you guys. Happy New Year. We want to wish everyone a safe Happy New Year. We want to thank everyone for being really patient with us and supporting us in the decision of taking a break for this last week during the holidays. I think it did us really well. I think it was the best thing to do for all parties, and we're really excited to share what we got going on for this next year and our goals and what we're going to be doing going forward.
And just another thank you to everybody for just joining us for another year. Mm-hmm. It feels like, damn, this is 2 New Years now that we've been doing this already.
I believe so. We've posted, like we said last time, that we've been posting and being on here for 73 weeks straight.
Jesus Christ.
I think 72, 73. Wow. Around there, and every single week, very consistently. So yeah, we just felt like it was the best thing to do, and we also wanted to not burn out and stuff, because 72 weeks is a very long time.
What else have you done for 72 weeks straight?
Absolutely fucking nothing. But no, yeah, that's a lot. And I think that's a pretty big milestone. That's awesome.
It's huge. I'm proud of us. Mm-hmm. Genuinely proud of us.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
but this is just the start.
Mm-hmm. Here's to another year.
Here's to another year. A little wine moment. Oh, it's so sweet. It's so good. Okay. I'm going to roll this little joint up.
I can start this off with a little story that I have. This was Wednesday, I think. I was at work, and I got to work, and I wasn't in the greatest mood. And this one guy that I always look forward to seeing, because he's always in a good mood, we said hi and whatever. But I think he felt like that was off, that I was off personally. Mm-hmm. And so throughout the day, I would see him, and we would just be working or whatever. And then at the end of the day, we got a chance to just slow down a little bit and just talk. And he was like, "Oh, how are you?" He's like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, "What do you mean? Nothing. I'm good. Just working."
But you weren't good.
No, it definitely wasn't good. And he was like, "Yeah, I can just I can sense it. Something's wrong. Your face is down, basically." And he's like, "You have to keep positive thoughts. Positive thoughts are gonna keep you going, and you'll be fine." And I'm okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's what I needed that.
Yeah.
I'm glad that people can notice a difference when something's wrong. And so then the next day, or the next 2 days, I came in and I was feeling definitely a lot better, because it was more towards the end of the week and my workload was a little bit less. And so I came in definitely a little bit more positive. And so I thanked them. Then when I saw him in the morning, I was like, when he walked in, I was like, "Hey, thank you," because I definitely did need somebody to say something.
A little pick me up.
Yeah, and I appreciate the words and the reminder to stay positive. Mm-hmm. And he was like, I used to walk around filled with a lot of resentment and just down and angry at the world. And even I felt like I had to make excuses for myself, because even on my birthday, when nobody wanted to take me to the store, I decided to walk to the store, and it was raining. But when I got to the ATM, I found $80. And he's like, I felt like that was my reward for staying positive and for keeping myself up and just taking myself to the store. And so he was like, "You just gotta keep staying positive, because the world is gonna thank you for it."
I love that.
Right?
Yeah.
And dude, it gave me goosebumps, because this man did not break eye contact once when he told me that. It was the straightest face ever too. And I was like, wow. Thank you. I appreciate that.
It came from the most genuine place of his heart. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And so I feel like I definitely want to take that mindset into the new year, with remaining positive and surrounding myself with people who are also positive mindset, and just always trying to lift others up as well.
Right. You always want to surround yourself, but sorry, did you hear the door open?
Mm-hmm. No, I'm positive I did.
What the fuck? Was it locked?
No.
What the fuck? Check the bathroom.
Check the bathroom.
Yeah, because, like, sometimes I get scared that if I hear that, they, like, hide in the bathroom or something. No, right?
Hey, at first this door was not budging.
Shut the fuck up.
Swear to God, bro, that door was not budging. I was like, oh, hell no. No, you're good.
Shut the fuck up.
No, it's fine, it's fine.
Okay.
Probably just your neighbor. Oh my God.
That's so fucking scary. What the fuck?
No, but yeah, I just want to keep surrounding myself with people who are like-minded. You know?
No, definitely. All right, this one's done. Damn, it's New Year. You're trying to smoke? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. So, what are you excited for this year? Oh, shit. Do you have anything that you know you're going to hit target at this year? Doesn't have to be like the pot or anything.
No, I want to pay off my car this year. My loan extends all the way to 2025. And
Okay.
the fact that I have to keep paying a fucking car note every month for the next 3-4 years, fuck that. I'd rather just knock it out this year. So that's
That's a
my
good
big
goal.
financial goal this year.
Nice.
Yours?
I think that's good. Damn. I would say getting a better job than the one I have right now. I'm super, super blessed for the freelance jobs I have right now. And I work with these like amazing women. I work with like amazing women. And I just kind of want to center myself to be more of like a permanent position, you know? Like freelancing is cool and I love it and stuff. And I think I've gained a lot of experience from it, but I think I'm ready to go into like an in-house like agency.
Yeah.
Which I think would be really cool.
That'd be
Am I
awesome.
there yet? I want to say no, but I know deep down that I am.
Why wouldn't you be?
I don't know, see, because I think it's just imposter syndrome. Like, remember how we were like, oh, like, the real podcasters are real podcasters, and I don't feel that way. It's like, I feel like, wow, people that work in those spaces are like real designers. And like, I don't feel that way. But I know that I am. You know what I mean?
Dude, you
It just
definitely are.
It just doesn't feel like it. But
What would make you feel like that?
literally that's it. I think the credibility of like working like in-house or whatever would make me feel like it, even though that I know I don't need that validation. You know what I mean? It's just like, I think it's something I just want to check off my checklist to say that I did it at one point, because there's a difference between like being self-taught and then being like a designer that like went to school. It's very like you can tell who's who based off the projects that they work on and the structure, and whether they have structure or they lack structure. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like you can tell who's self-taught, because people who went to school for something like that, they learn foundation and they learn
They're the ones with structure?
yes, like they're the ones with more structure. You know what I mean? But like to each their own, like either or, if you want to do it or not, or like go to school for it or whatever, go ahead and do it. But I just feel like learning in like in-house or like in a corporate setting, it's basically like continuing at what's it called? Graduation. Does that make sense?
It's continue. Yeah, like explain that a little bit more.
Well, like continuing like education, if that makes sense. Like it's basically structure.
Yeah.
So it's not like doing little freelance jobs and stuff like that. It's definitely like a more structured thing that I feel I can benefit from, because yeah, I just want to continue like growing and learning. And whatever people are using today in like design and marketing was absolutely not what people were or what I was being taught in college 6 years ago, you know? So everything's really evolving, and not being part of like a corporate setting or whatever, I didn't know any of those trends. I had to like go out and like search for them, where it's like when you're in those spaces, like you are the space, like you are the continuing trends and stuff like that. So I just want to be in the know, you know?
So even though I feel like you have structure, but your goal this year is to gain more structure, or like not just this year, but with being part of an agency is to gain more structure.
Yeah. I feel like it's beneficial. Like, I think it's just a better skill to have, like a skill to have, an added skill. And yeah, I mean, like freelancing, like I said, it's really fun. I feel like I get to enjoy my time, and it gives me the chance to be free with designing certain things or whatever. Whereas, like, I know if I were to have to join like an agency or corporate setting or whatever, it's their way, you know. Even now, I feel like for one of the contracts that I have, it is a corporate setting, but I do it remotely, and there's no like creativeness that I feel like I can bring, because everything's pretty much just given. You're just like, you do A, B, and C, and we approve it, and then you send it. And it's more like,
It's mundane.
yeah, it's like mundane. It's not really like fun and creative, but I don't mind it. I really like it, like I said, because it gives me structure to
And you
know.
still learn something from it, right?
Dude, I've learned so much. And because of that alone, I feel like I can go into these places and be like, well, I've done XYZ. Like, I can do this. And I'm a real designer. But yeah, that's kind of my goal, to be in a space like that.
Yeah.
You know?
That'd be cool, dude. You looking for anything specific yet, or you're kind of just putting it out there?
No, I'm just kind of putting it out there. I work with like the most random companies right now, so I feel like whatever comes to me, I'll be good.
You think you could eventually lead a team?
That's really scary, but I think yeah. Because right now the girl that's like above me, she I'm pretty sure we're like the same age, and I'm pretty sure we went to school for like the same things, or like the same general idea of like marketing, design, all that kind of stuff. And sometimes I feel like she doesn't know what she's doing and like is telling me to do things, and we're both kind of just like figuring it out on the way. So I think I'm her first person that she has to like teach.
Okay.
And you know what? Like, I would love to have someone under me that was like me, like understanding. And I'm never going to make you feel like dumb or whatever for like trying to teach me certain things. So yeah, I think it's a good gig we got going on right now.
So what do you think would hold you back from being a good leader?
I don't know. I think more experience, because sometimes like I'd be like fucking up at work. I'm not gonna lie. I'd be fucking up. And I ask a lot of questions like to the girl or whatever. And I just think that maybe if I were in a position like her, what if I don't know all the answers? You know what I mean? And I would want to be able to like help someone through and through. But I just kind of started there, so I'm still learning.
And you go to her with a ton of questions?
Yeah, and I feel really bad sometimes. I feel like she gets annoyed, but I can't tell.
I'm gonna tell you a situation I'm in at work. I'm currently training somebody to take over my area. So it's a long story, but like, I'm training somebody to take over my area when I leave. And the other day I was upstairs watching like the belt system, making sure it didn't jam. And she kept on calling me on my phone, like asking questions. She's like, "Sorry, I know I'm annoying." Like, dude, like you're not annoying. You're asking questions. I'd rather you ask questions than like not know
fuck it
something
up.
and like fuck up because the shit change. Shit can happen so quick in a matter of seconds there.
Right.
So I'm glad you're not. Just don't feel annoying, you know. I'm pretty sure she feels the same way towards you. Like, don't feel like you're being annoying by asking all the questions because it's a
Right.
good sign.
Yeah, well, it's like stuff like that. And then, like I said, like sometimes I be fucking up. Like I send things and then I was telling my boyfriend, like, I send things to be approved and there's always feedback. There is always feedback no matter what. And I told my boyfriend, I was like, do you think I'm just like dumb? Because like there's always like something wrong and he's just kind of like no, like I mean, I feel like they have to give you feedback like no matter what, like there's always just going to be something like a little tweak that can just make it better. Like they're there to help you
Right.
because they also want this to look good. And I'm like, you're right. But
But do
sometimes
they
I
give you
feel dumb.
positive feedback too? It's not just like things you should change. Like, what kind of feedback is it?
It's like change this, change that. It's just changes. And it's nothing like what I do. It's make this smaller, like make this bigger, or
Okay.
like center this or whatever. But then sometimes I feel like it is because this one time, this was like last week, I like put some text on there and then I sent it and I thought it looked amazing. And I was like, they're not going to say shit this time, right? Like this is just going to go through. And they're like, the girl was like, oh, can you actually like reduce the fucking tracking or whatever? And then I looked at it and I was like, fuck, you're right. And I didn't see it and I felt really stupid. And I was like, how could I not see this? And then I was like, it's okay. Like we all make mistakes. So
You're
it
only
was
human.
fine. Right. But that's why it's good because you have multiple eyes looking at certain things. And yeah. I want to be the lady at the way top that just like looks at shit and just like, good. Yeah, this is fine.
Take it back.
Yeah, take it back. Put this away from me. But I'm excited. I feel like I've been building up for this. This right here,
Yeah.
specifically this year.
This is your
So.
25 year too.
Oh,
Damn, you're really in your mid 20s.
no, it'll be fully developed in my brain. I'm ready.
So that's career wise for you. That's a goal, is to get more established in your career.
Yeah. Damn. You know what really makes me press thinking back? Like one thing, RMU. RMU sucked.
Yeah, dude.
Like it only solidifies more and more how much like that university was just ass, because the jobs that I'm like getting now, back when I was like a freshman there, they were saying like reach for the stars, go for these huge fucking companies. And it's like there's no fucking way. Like stop giving us this like false hope of like us being able to like get into these like crazy like insane companies where it's like you're not doing anything to even bridge us together.
I was gonna say, like, telling us that isn't the bad part. It's not giving us the connections and like the abilities to do it.
Like the job fairs, ass.
Yeah.
The job fairs that they had there were not helpful whatsoever, mainly because RMU was not, it was more like business centered, and it was, what other like really big degree did they have there?
Nursing.
Yeah, like a
Nursing was
medical,
huge.
like nursing kind of stuff, like health. And those were the companies and the people that they would bring in for like speakers and like internships and whatever,
Right.
where it was like you wanted to do something else and they didn't have anything for it. And the professors were providing like their own guests, and like these were just regular people. And I was like, fuck. And
Your professors?
my professors, yeah, like the design professors, like they would bring in like their own people that they've worked with in the past and stuff. And like some of it was helpful, but it was like no one that would genuinely try to like help us get anywhere. And it was
okay.
like, what the fuck? So
What if you were invited back to speak? Like, what if the teacher was like, "Oh, this student of mine is doing amazing things now. I want her to. I
dude,
want her to
would
come
be
speak to
in
the
that
class."
bitch. I would be like,
But what
fuck
would
this
you do
place.
differently? Like, what would you do to help?
What would I do to help? Well, I would give them the tips and tricks that I would go through. Cause like when I go searching for like employment, I don't go through like the freelancing sites or anything like that because there's a ton of them. There's this one site that I always go on to. I'm gonna put everyone on that like is considering going into like design or marketing or anything like that. It's you know what? Let me pull it up really quick because I forgot the name. It's not Creatively, because I know that one's really big right now. Oh, it's called I Love Creatives. It's like super easy. You go on there and they tell you like this person is seeking like this kind of specific person. Click the link to like know more, and then it just pulls up their email, and then you write the email and you send it directly to them. You know, like this isn't like an ADS tracker or whatever the fuck they're called, where like you send the resume and
It gets filtered out
it
and
gets
shit.
filtered out before it even gets to anyone. Like this one's going directly to them.
It's awesome.
Yeah, so it's like solely for creatives, and that's where I found like every single one of my jobs.
So this site is for people looking to hire creatives.
It's looking to hire. It's looking to get employed by. Like it's everything. It is like the ultimate like career seeker.
It's awesome.
There's so much things out there, but
And you learned this in school about the site, or you learned this
I
afterwards?
learned this like last year, but it was a really good tip. But I think if I were to go and be a guest, damn, I would really want to be in a place where I would be able to employ or like give someone an internship, you know, because I would want to actually do something other than just go and like talk and say some shit.
Right.
But I think an intern is in our future.
I think so too.
I think that would be really cool.
I'd say that's a 2022 goal right there.
That's definitely like a summer goal. Like we have a lot of shit going on.
Yeah.
And honestly, like editing and doing all that stuff, it's like taking away from our juices. So
That's a good way of putting it.
I think it would be best. So hopefully we do a little job hunt, you know?
It sucks because we had talked about the Eye Center project before from RMU. I don't know if like does RMU even still exist, or like Roosevelt just like ate that bitch up and like that's it.
It ate that bitch up
Yeah?
pretty much because they took their experiential idea and like just fused it into Roosevelt.
So was RMU really doing something a lot different than Roosevelt? Like the whole experiential thing, was it really a thing? Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yes. Yeah, so it was a thing. It was, and I think it was more of a thing when they went from being a college to a university, because like RMU was a college prior, and I think it was because they offered certain degrees and like certain credit hours that like classified them as a university. So like they changed, and their whole thing, and the reason why I think it like went into a university was because they had this plan to be different from the surrounding colleges, and it was based off their like experiential like pitch, I'm sure that they did.
And that was through the Eye Centers.
Well,
Or what was that
an
through?
eye
Because I feel like in
center-
any of my other classes, I never really got to get that experiential. The fuck do you say? Experiential learning. You know what I mean?
Well, like the entire curriculum, every curriculum was supposed to be based off of actually going out and experiencing things.
Okay, I can see that because a lot from one of my business classes, they sent us to like the summit, the
Right.
business summit downtown, and like or at the McCormick Place.
Yeah.
And like we got to go to all these different like speeches and everything. It was cool. I guess like that was part of it, but
Yeah.
I didn't know that was what other colleges weren't doing. You know what I
No,
mean?
like RMU was like pushing that we have to like be out there in the world doing this shit. Eye Center was just part of it.
Okay.
But I did do like 2 eye centers.
Damn, you were going above and beyond. They only required one to graduate.
No, I know. I was doing the most. No, but yeah, I did 2 of them. They didn't go anywhere. Like like I said, they didn't really have shit for like design or anything that I would want to do. So I worked with like small business people and stuff like that. And I mean, did I learn stuff? Not really, but I got the credit, so it was fine. But yeah, a lot of what I remember is like going out and like doing stupid shit. Like going out and like going to the museum and stuff like that. And it's like, what the fuck am I supposed to learn here? But yeah, that was it.
See, I guess that's one thing I am grateful for RMU was the fact that they did push that, because I didn't know this was what other schools weren't doing. Was the fact that they encouraged us to go like one class. It was like our Chicago class. It was fucking like Chicago urban experience, and one week we'd read a passage from like some Chicago based book, and then the next week we'd go to a Chicago game, like a Cubs game. We'd go to a museum, and we'd go to like go visit the Bean, like do some shit like that. But like these teachers would be like, all right, go to the Bean, take a picture, and then like you're done after that. Like the rest of the class is whatever you choose to do.
Right.
So like that was cool, and I appreciated that, because it definitely did allow us to go out there and reach out and meet people and just hang out.
Yeah, like I will give it that. Like it did force us to like go out and be more worldly, if you will. Also, the access to it, because if they would have told you like go out and do this thing and you're like, bro, like I don't have money to like pay to get into any of this shit, and like the fact that they had that kind of like partnership with other places, like that was pretty cool.
See, but the thing is, it's now 2022 and we're entering kids, you're 18 when you go to college, right? And like 18,
17,
that's 7 years ago.
Yeah, bro.
So 18-year-olds now are probably a lot different than when we were 18.
Yeah, very.
And the way they learn is probably a lot different than the way we learned. And so I was reading this article that colleges and universities have to start looking at new ways of teaching, or else they're going to have to shut down, because they're just not going to be making enough money. Because kids are realizing like, oh shit, it's a scam, you know, in the bigger picture. And so YouTube is releasing like their own program, like YouTube University or Google University, like their own program. You can learn everything online, obviously, but is as impactful as learning in person.
Because they would be remote, right?
Right.
Like on your laptop.
But it'll also be things that you're actually interested in. Like they're kind of getting rid of shit that you don't even really need anymore.
That's why, like, low key, I feel like you should only go to college if you're trying to be like
A doctor, a lawyer,
like lawyers,
architect, stuff like
something
that.
in like STEM or anything like that.
Right.
Everything else, like, you don't really need that shit. There's like other like academies and other kind of stuff like specifically geared towards that kind of stuff. There's technical schools and like all that stuff. You know what? Another goal of mine for this year is helping out kids, because I know our audience is like young. These are people that are going to college and going to start their careers and stuff like that, like out of high school. So I want to make sure that we help by putting out resources that could potentially help them, because I know there's a lot of confused kids out there that like don't really know what's next. Like they graduated, the shit's in a pandemic still.
Right.
So like things are very confusing, and I would definitely want to help by putting out like resources and whatever to, I guess, ease up on that like pressure to do something like university based or whatever.
So you'd want to persuade people to kind of take a different route.
Well, not persuade people to take a different route, but have them know that there's options. There's many options, and you don't have to just go to a university.
Right.
Yeah. Damn. Some school's got to invite us. Whose school's going to invite us to talk?
Not RMU.
No, RMU. Oh, shit. Now they're non-existent now, so.
Not Molly. What do you think Molly is doing now?
Bro, like, I think she's like a real therapist.
That's awesome. I could definitely see her as that.
She was such a nice lady. But who knows? I tried to look her up. I tried to look her up to see if she like migrated into Roosevelt, but I don't think she did.
Not gonna lie, a lot of the teachers there at Army did not seem happy.
I know.
Yeah, I think I heard a lot of them complaining about just being there. I guess like pay was one.
Dude, did I tell you about this one time about how we got our like adjunct professor like fired? Dude, it was so bad. She was an art history teacher, and everyone in the field knows, like, dude, art history is the worst fucking class ever. Like, my boyfriend took it recently, fucking hated it. And my professor, she was like this old lady, like this old white lady. And, bro, we had to buy the book or whatever, and like we barely like read from it or whatever. And
That honestly is so scummy
that's what
to
I'm saying.
have us buy the book and not even touch that bitch. Literally,
That's what
they
I'm
just read 2
saying.
fucking chapters from it and that's it.
Dude, like my art history professor, we had to go to class. She was like, if you miss more than 2 classes, you're kicked out. Like it was, and most of my teachers, like most of the professors were very chill. They were pretty laid back. And if you miss like multiple classes, like they just really wouldn't give a fuck. Like you just fail the class, like whatever. No, this lady was like, you have to fucking come. And if you come, you cannot sleep. You can't put your head down. You can't do any of that shit because then you would fail the class. She was like, if you sleep in my class, you fail because I'm going to count it as an absence because you're not here. Because you're fucking sleeping. Anyways.
What an asshole, dude.
Dude, I'm telling you, there was like 15 kids in the class. Less. Like probably 10. And I was one of them. And I was like, bitch, like, dude, when I tell you that she would have like copies of text and she'd put it on the projector and she would just read it word for word,
That was the whole
whatever.
class?
That was the entire class. That was it.
What the fuck are you getting paid for? I
It
could
was
literally
not
do
a
the same
lecture.
shit.
It wasn't a lecture class. It wasn't like a theory kind of like everyone pitching in or whatever.
Bogus.
It was like her reading off a screen. Anyways, we all complained to our advisor.
Was there a group chat?
No, we I think one day after class we were like, guys, we're gonna go talk to our advisors and we're gonna tell them that we hate this class. Like the teacher, she's not teaching, and whatever. So we all went. We all complained about her, and then at the end of the quarter, we had to submit like a review of like what we thought about the professor, and we all gave a 0. She never came back. And like at the end of the year, she was like sad, but she was a bitch. She was like, okay, well, like, you know, it was really nice having all of you guys like this quarter, this, and I was like, bitch, stop lying. You're scared. Yeah.
I was gonna say like good that she got fired, but oh my god, like teach. You know what I mean? Like you got this job to teach.
I wonder if she even knew. Like, do you even know? How are you just reading off a text? Anyways, that was the worst fucking thousands of dollars I've ever spent.
For real, dude. Each semester,
real.
I was like 4K. Not gonna lie.
Dude, for real.
Fuck. I remember going there with my parents and like these I guess my financial counselor was like setting up all the paperwork in front of us and like breaking down semester. They try to make it sound as cheap as possible by breaking it down like class by class and shit. But I was looking at that like, oh my god, that's a lot of money.
Right.
Like even at that point, I was like, that's a lot of money right there.
But you know what I felt or what I thought at the time when I was doing that, because I went with my dad, was that like I don't know anything else. Like I felt like well, this is just something that we have to do, you know. So like it's a lot of money, but we got to do it.
That's very true, 100%. There was what else were you gonna do besides that? Like my parents, if it wasn't school, factory.
Yeah.
You know, that's your only other option. So I'm glad that you want to take that step to give people resources to let them know that there are other options out there.
Right. Even if you're confused and taking a gap year. Dude, gap years were so frowned upon.
Yeah.
When I went to high school. And it was like after, and like, it wasn't until I met my boyfriend and he was in his gap year, and he was like, "Oh, you go to school?" And I was like, "Yeah, I go to college here." And he was like, "Oh, like I'm taking a gap year." And I was like, "What?"
It's
I
so
was
strange,
like,
right?
yeah. And
Yeah.
I was just like, nah, bro, like you're fucking up. And he was like,
Yeah.
yeah. And he was like, no, like this is probably the best decision I've made for
Right.
myself. And like he's going to graduate this year.
Mm.
And just seeing him like go through that like self discovery through the gap year, insane.
Wow.
I know he's super thankful for it. And it gave me like another like side of things, you know? And that's when I was like, oh shit, like it's fine,
Yeah.
you know, like time isn't really escaping. I hate when people are like, oh, we all got the same 24 hours in a day. Like, no, we don't. You know, we do, but we don't. And it all comes down to like people that say that shit, it's because they don't lack certain resources. Where it's like
They don't lack or they lack?
they don't lack, because people are like, oh, we all got the same 24 hours. And it's like, oh, okay, but if you're like well off, you don't really have to think about money.
They're privileged.
Like, right. They have like certain privileges where it's like, we don't. Like, damn, like I have to make a living. You know, I would love to go to college. I would love to do XYZ, but I can't, at least not yet.
Right.
Like, you're not in the position to do it. So yeah, I would say like that gave me kind of a different shift in perspective for that.
I'm glad Jonathan got a chance to see Pedro's and I's mistakes of, I guess, not having other options available. Like, he was able to see that Pedro and I went to school, we got our student loans, and didn't even finish school. Well, Pedro finished school, but I didn't finish school. And Jonathan saw that, and he's like, "Well, I don't want that." He's like, "I don't want all that debt, so I'm gonna go to community college." And then I think he just focused on working after that. But a lot of the kids that I work with now, they're focused on going to trade school because they see that as being more successful in the short term, for their long term.
Right.
They're like, I can go to trade school for a year, maybe 2 years, learn that trade, make damn near 70K right off the bat, and then I'm chilling. Like, I'm doing something I actually enjoy doing, whether it's like being an electrician, being a driver, like whatever it is, you know? Like, that's what they're looking towards now instead of traditional college, which is weird because that's how we grew up, was like, no, what do you want to do next year? Like, what do you want to do for the rest of your life? What the
Right.
fuck? I'm 18. Like, I'm 17, 16. You already asked me this question. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, because you have to pick in like junior year. Damn.
That's ridiculous. I was talking to my cousin yesterday. She just turned 16, 17. She's a junior in high school. And now she's looking for like colleges. She just got her first job. She was so excited telling me about it. I was like, that's awesome. And she was like, yeah, but like now I have to stay for school because I want to go to like UCLA or something. And she was like, I don't know what I want to do though, what I want to focus on. And she was, I feel like I'm running out of time already. I'm like, dude, what? You're 17. Like, you have
Bro,
so
you could
much
go to
time.
UCLA right now.
That's what I was telling her. I was like, everybody you see at this table, and like the ages were from like 5 all the way to like 50. I was like, everybody at this table has so much time to do whatever it is that they want to do, and you're only 17.
Like, if
You
you
know what I
think
mean?
about it, like college is like 4 years.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a long time.
Right.
You could do that at any point in time.
Right.
Damn.
So to take that gap year or even 2 years, figure out who it is that you are and who it is that you want to do.
Like, you know how much you grow from like when you're 18 to when you're 20? Like, if I could choose to go to college at 21,
Yep.
I wish I would have been able to do that.
100%.
Right.
100%.
And my boyfriend, see, I felt really bad because like this was his mindset. And I had to tell him like, hey, like, you know, everyone's like running at their own pace. But he was like, how am I going to be like older and like go to college? He's like, I'm not going to be done with college until I'm 25. We were like 20, like 21 at the time. And
I remember this conversation. Yeah.
Yeah, and he was like, I'm going to be 25. Like, I'm going to be so old. And I was like, no, like, you're not. Like, it's fine. Like, you're going to take the time. Like, you have more of a vision of what you want to do now than when he was going to go to Columbia.
Wow, I remember this.
Yeah, he was going to go to Columbia. And he thought he was going to do like this one degree, and now he's like in a completely different headspace, and he's like going a completely different direction. So
Wow.
I'm sure, and he's 25 now. Like, I mean, yeah, you're 25, but fuck, dude, like,
Time goes by so quick.
yeah.
Yeah.
So definitely, like my little sister, I think she also saw me and my older sister kind of going through the motions of being in college and being in school. And even when my older sister went to university, she went to Bradley, and she went to like a very traditional like 4-year college. It was like a campus, like everything that comes with like campus life and like sororities, all that kind of white people shit. Like that's what it was. And I did not want to do that. For
Right.
one, because she was in a sorority, and I always thought like, let's not do that, beloved. Like, what are you doing? Not only is it like a shit ton of money, it's like, what is this really gonna do for you? Anyways,
It's the connections.
oh, shut the hell up. Anyways, I was like, I don't want to do any of that shit, bro. I want to move to the city. Like, I want to be out. I want to like do things. And it just seemed like way more freedom than like being at a campus school, because you're just there with the same like people in the same age group,
Yeah.
you know, where it's like in a city, like, you just never know. So I wanted to do that. And I wanted to do graphic design, like the degree that I did, and whatever. So I came here, and there wasn't any like sororities or fraternities like that were offered at RMU. I was like, perfect. And everything, I mean, it was a commuter school, but everything was like
It was
way
part of
more,
the experience.
yeah, it was just like part of this like more freeing experience. Anyways, when my little sister, I'm sure she saw that like I didn't take that traditional route of going to a 4-year, because I did college in 3 years. And then she was probably like, no, I think even I'm doing too much. She was like, I'm not trying to do all that. So she also, I don't think, not that she wasn't good at school. Like, she was smart. I don't think she was just like too good at school, which is fine. And whatever, after that, my parents were like, okay, well, you have to go to college. Like, you have to get some sort of like higher education. She ended up going to a career college, and she wanted to be a vet tech. She loves animals. So she wanted to be a vet tech, and that was 2 years. And dude, she did that so quick. She did it so quick, and now she's like in her field doing the job.
Right.
She's been doing it like for a little over a year, and she makes better money than I do. She makes better money than I do, and I'm like, holy shit. She bought a car. Like, she's living with my parents, but she's like saving hella money. And I was like, you know what? Good for you. I would not have wanted it any other way for you.
Right.
And yeah, I was just like, wow, the power of choice, you know, and knowing your options.
So I guess this is for the people listening who are currently looking at schools. When we talk about there are other options out there, we're not necessarily talking about just freelancing. We're talking
Yeah.
about like what your sister did. She went specifically for a program that was focused on what she wanted to do, which is vet tech. I brought up the idea of going to trade school. Like, there's other options if you still want to pursue higher education. It's not just freelance work. Like, we're not just talking about freelance work. You know what I mean? Because I think
Yeah.
when people hear us talk about other options besides university, they think about like, I don't have what it takes to be a creative person. I don't have what it takes to run my own business. Like, what other options do I have?
Dude,
So there are a
there's-
ton of other options.
There's always someone for something.
And I guess like the biggest question you have to ask yourself is, why do you even want to go to school? Because if I were to ask myself that at 17, 18, my answer would have been because of my parents. I'm going to
Yeah.
school because that's all I know, and that's because what my parents told me was the right thing to do. If someone told me, well, what is your goal of going and getting through college? Well, it's to make money. It's to get a job making money. Well, there's plenty of jobs that you can make money that you don't need school for.
Yeah.
And that being trade school, that being a program. You know what I mean?
And I think it should be important for us to note that you don't have to want a degree or like a career.
Yes.
You know what I mean? If you want to make money, have money, and just like survive and provide, have a family and stuff like that, like do that.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to, it's okay to not want to be like, well, I want to be a doctor. I want to be a whatever. And like, it's just not your purpose. Then it's just not like, you don't have it.
Right.
And that's fine because you just want to make money. You want to live good. That's a fine goal.
And on the other hand, this is very 401k Twitter of me, but there is things like the stock market, which you can look into. Like there are ways like that to gain financial freedom. You know, there's a lot of opportunity out there. You just have to be willing to learn, work hard, and be consistent. That's all it is.
I think that goes for anything. But yeah. Damn, are we inspirational or what? I'm just kidding. But I mean, I'm super excited with this all this like career talk for this year. So it's a lot of transition, and I think it's going to be good. And we'll see how the economy is doing.
We're not buying a house this year.
We're not buying a house this year,
And that's okay too.
and that's all right. Damn, are you showing the label? Damn, bro, chill, chill.
Okay, Philip. No.
No. Why would you pour it to the top?
Oh shit, this is leaning over.
This is the one. See, now you have less than I do.
No, that was like my second glass.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like 2.5.
We're drinking the wine that Jason got for like the Thanksgiving. I'm fucked up.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna.
I'm like damn near on an empty stomach. I think that rice was holding me down right now.
No way. We're about to
Yeah.
eat this bun though. So
Oh yeah, that'll definitely help.
it'll soak it up.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Well, I feel very motivated. Definitely very motivated. What are some things that we're changing this year for the podcast?
That we're changing. We're gonna bring on guests. I know that last week we didn't have, or 2 weeks ago we didn't have Ashley come on for the guest episode. She was supposed to be the guest for the Christmas episode, but unfortunately we had to reschedule her, and we're gonna have her for this month of January. And I think a goal of mine for the pod is to have a guest at least once a month, just to bring some new stuff.
Yeah, let's make it happen. I'd say a goal for mine, because we set a goal for last year during this time too. I think it was 50K downloads. We passed that bitch in like June. Yeah, we went crazy, dude.
Wow, that's good.
We went crazy. So I want to say that this year, let's just double what we already have. I say 200K by 2023. I think it's very attainable.
Okay.
I'm very optimistic for it. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to all the new people who are gonna meet, all the people in the Discord who already have. Thank you so much for being here with us. We
Yeah.
appreciate every single one of you guys. Honestly, the fact that Jackie and I barely don't even have to be in the Discord anymore, and you guys just keep it alive. It's amazing, and being able to go in and talk to you guys. So I'm excited for all the new people who are gonna come in this year and like add to that conversation as well. So I'm excited for that. I'm also excited for this whole Clubhouse transition, as Jackie just started. I heard it was very. I heard it went well.
Guys, whoever's in there, I'm so sorry that it was cringe. It was the first time, but we had like a decent turnout. I think a total of like 30-ish people were in there, but we definitely want to do that at least like once a month. I think that would be fun to interact with everyone like in real time, and like actually get to talk to them too. So
guys, like keep in mind, we're regular ass people. Like we're regular ass people. To talk to us like you talk to your friends. Like we're not gonna.
I feel like we're very approachable people.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're just chilling. We're regular. So yeah, hop in there, and we really hope to see more people.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited.
So we're gonna talk about how we're gonna start having an extra episode a week, but it's kind of more focused on engaging with the people who listen.
Right, right. So it's going to be like probably like a shorter episode, but we're really excited to do like call-ins and submissions that like people submit a story or something like that. We kind of want to have it be more like one-on-one with like our core listeners. So we're really excited to have that extra one, but we are still going to be keeping like the regular episodes weekly.
Right.
So we're going to have those. We're going to work a guest in for once a month, and I think it'll be really fun.
Dude, oh my god, I'm so excited.
Dude, I'm excited
It's
too.
gonna be a good year. Yeah.
Or the guests that we're gonna like bring on, the people that we're gonna be able to meet. So I think that's really fun. What else? Something just escaped me.
So you watched the Goblet of Fire.
I did watch the Goblet of Fire. I've actually watched for like 3 days in a row. From the Goblet of Fire, I watched all the other ones.
Stop.
So I've
Moving
watched,
forward.
yeah. So I think I've watched like 3 or 4 of them now.
Those are the better ones.
Yes. So like
Yeah.
Goblet of Fire, like low key was
That was the pivot.
it really?
That was the
'Cause
pivot.
I
Yeah.
hated it.
The Goblet of Fire, I think, is very attractive to a lot of people because it's not like the other Harry Potter movies, like the same timeline. Because the Goblet of Fire kind of got away from the traditional. They go to school. There's a bad guy. They beat the bad guy. They finish school. You know what I mean? Like the Christmas all happens and shit. The Goblet of Fire was very much focused on the games, and so that's why I thought you would like it a little bit more because it kind of gave like Hunger Games vibes. But
Okay.
you know,
Yeah. No, I got it, but it was just like I think it was just like because I was smoking, but it was very cringe to me.
you have to give in to that world. You know what I mean? Because it's a very looking at it from the outside, not as a fan, it's a very cringe series. You know what I mean? Because it's wizards and shit. Like it's very much, like a
See,
specific
but
crowd.
The other when we watched Goblet of Fire, I was like telling my boyfriend because we've stayed in for like the past week, and we're like, okay, we're gonna watch a movie, and then I was like, okay, we're gonna watch Goblet of Fire. He was like, oh well, I didn't finish that book, so let's do it.
Oh, you read the books? Okay.
But he I guess only read up to that one, and then whatever, we watched it, and then he was like, that one wasn't like that good. He was intrigued, but the movie was just kind of like, and I was like, no, I feel you. So then the next day, I was like, okay, what are we gonna watch today? Thinking that, okay, I got him in a good mood, which is why he agreed to Goblet of Fire. But now, like, let's see if he changes his mind. He's like, no, let's do the next one. And I was like, are you serious?
Okay.
And he was like, yeah, let's do it. He's like, now I'm interested to see like where they take it. And I was like, fuck it. But the other one was like way better.
You watched the Half-Blood Prince next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
that
got
one.
darker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we watched the Order of the Phoenix after.
Oh, that good ass movie.
And I
yo.
was like, oh shit! Like this one was super decent. He fell asleep though. Like
Oh,
he
okay.
didn't finish it. Low key, I woke up the next day. I was like, I'm gonna finish this because I want to go back and see what happened. But yeah, I think okay.
And that's
I
where you
see
stopped,
it.
Order of Phoenix? Okay, the Deathly Hallows, dude, fire. I promise you, the next 2 movies, so good.
Okay.
Because it definitely does give you that wrap up of everything, and you feel a little bit, what's the word, like just fulfilled.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I like it. I'm excited.
The other day I was thinking, I was like, you know what? I think I'm finally ready to watch BoJack. I was like, I feel like I'm in a much better mindset now, and I
Good.
feel better about myself that I can watch it without it really affecting me.
Yes.
And like I can take my time with it now, you know. So I'm ready for it.
Good. Good. Oh, you're gonna love it, dude. It's so good.
I think
Bro,
this would be I think this would be a pretty good point to end this episode. I feel great. I feel very thankful for another year of podcasting with you. I feel very grateful for the audience that we have built or that we have right now in the community that we've built. I'm a little tipsy. I'm sorry. But thank you again for everybody who's been here with us. It means the absolute world to us. It genuinely does.
Right. And hopefully many more years to come.
Yeah.
Damn, because this was the first year, the first full year.
This is the shit.
This is going to be
yeah.
the second full year. So to have gotten where we have now, it's crazy. It's crazy. But I'm excited. So we'll see.
Yeah. But thank you guys for listening.
Yeah, guys. Happy New Year. And
Happy
we'll
New
see you
Year.
guys next week.